Hello and welcome to one and all. In today's class, we will discuss about the poverty and unemployment situations in Telangana, which is in Unit 10, Telangana Economy. Okay. First, what is the meaning of poverty? So, poverty has been defined. A section of the population is deprived of the minimum subsistence level of living. That is, if a person is unable to consume even the basic necessities of life, that is the subsistence level of living, subsistence level of consumption. So that is, they are unable to buy or consume even the basic necessities of life. So then they are considered to be below the poverty line. So there were two committees appointed by the Planning Commission during 1970s. First one is the Tendulkar Committee Group Poverty Estimates. So this Tendulkar Committee Group Poverty Estimates prescribe the annual per capita expenditure for a person to be on the poverty line or above the poverty line is 2,244 in 1993-94 for rural population and 282 for urban population. See, in order to consume certain level of minimum subsistence level of living, it is not possible to individually go and check each and every person whether they are consuming that minimum basic level of consumption, minimum calorie or minimum nutritional diet they are consuming or not. So physically it is not possible to conduct the survey. So how it is estimated, in order to consume so and so level of food grains, so and so level of nutritional diet, how much a person has to spend. Okay, so if he or she is able to spend that much amount of money income, then it is assumed that person is above the poverty line. Okay, so if a person, as far as 1993-94 is concerned, if a person in rural area is spending rupees 244 rupees, and in the urban area if a person is spending rupees 282 rupees annually, then he or she is supposed to be on the poverty line. The same thing in 2011-12, instead of 244, it is rupees 2860 in the rural areas, and in the urban areas it is 1009. Because whatever the 244 rupees in 1993-94 could fetch, it could only rupees 862 8 rupees could fetch in 2011-12 in rural areas. The same thing, whatever commodities rupees 282 could fetch in urban area in 1993-94, the person has to spend rupees 1009 in 2011-12. Okay, so you can understand this because of the increase in the general price level. So if a person as of now rupees 860 annually, if a person is spending in the rural area, and if a person in urban area is spending rupees 1009, he or she is said to be on the poverty line. If they are not able to spend this much, they are supposed to be below the poverty line. So this is the annual per capita expenditure. So this 860 and 1009 is annual for per year if a person is able to spend. Okay, now based on this, let us check out what is the poverty estimates. So it is divided into two parts. The first part is between 93-94 and 2011-12, and on 2011-12 what is the poverty estimates. Okay, so it is as far as the TS is concerned, the state of Telangana is concerned, or AP 2093-94, 2011-12 it was AP. Anyway, so the TS is concerned, rural poverty happens to be 49%, whereas the urban poverty happens to be 30.5%, that is between 1993-94 and 2011-12. So 30.5% in absolute number happens to be 12 million. So whereas if you compare the same thing with the all India level, so all India level it was 50.1% the rural poverty and 31.8% urban poverty. So you can see that the poverty levels in the state of AP or in the state of Telangana is lower than the all India level. That is one thing. Now when you check the 2011-12 data, the rural poverty in TS has decreased from 49% to 11.2%, and urban poverty has decreased from 30.5% to 5%, that is from 12 million it has decreased to 3 million. And all India level it has decreased from 50.1% to 25.7% in 2011-12 and 31.8% to 13.7% in urban area in 2011-12. 12. Okay, so here also you can see that in 2011-12 also you can see that the poverty levels is lower than the all India level in the state of Telangana. Okay, so that means the state of TS is able to reduce the poverty levels better than all India. Okay, then this is the based on Tendulkar committee report. Now there is another committee, so let us check out what is that committee's report. So this is Rangarajan committee report on poverty estimates. So the percentage of poor in 2011-12, the data is given for 2011-12 in terms of percentages. So as per this committee's report, in TS, the rural percentage of poor was 9.3% and the urban percentage of poor was 11.1% and the total happens to be 10%. But see, you can see there is a slight difference between the two committees' report. So the Tendulkar committee report for 2011-12, the rural poverty was 11.2%, whereas the Rangarajan committee report is saying somewhere around 9.3%. And urban poverty, according to the Tendulkar committee, it was 5%, but whereas Rangarajan committee says it is 11.1%. The same thing for all India. The Tendulkar committee's rural poverty 25.7%, but whereas the Rangarajan committee's report says it is 30.9%, and urban poverty 13.7%, whereas this committee is saying 26.4%. See, there will be a slight difference between the there are differences between the two committees' report. This is mainly because the method of calculation will be may be different. Okay, so more or less you can say approximately this is the range of poverty. And when you talk about the total poverty levels in 2011-12, as per Rangarajan committee report, in TS it happens to be 10%, both rural and urban put together, whereas all India level it is 29.5%, so almost 30%. So all India level, if you could take overall, all India level, the 30% of the people are below the poverty line, whereas when you take only the state of TS, it is 10, only the 10% of the people are below the poverty level. So this also in this committee's report also indicates that the state of Telangana is able to reduce the poverty compared to the all India level. Okay, so this is about the poverty. Next, moving on to the unemployment situation in Telangana. Now, what is the meaning of unemployment? Unemployment is a situation if a person is willing and able to work at whatever the wages that is offered to him, prevailing wages, without any bargaining, but still he or she is unable to find the job. So that is the situation, that is the meaning of involuntary unemployment. Okay, so we are concerned only with the involuntary unemployment, not with the voluntary unemployment. So based on this situation of unemployment, based on this type of unemployment, that is involuntary unemployment, let us check the unemployment rates in both all India as well as the Telangana state. Okay, so in TS the unemployment rate happens to be 10.5 in 2004-5. So if you want to see the breakup, it happens to be 8.6 for males and 13.2 for females, which has decreased to 4.7 in 2011-12. So from 10.5 in 2004-5, the unemployment rate in TS has decreased to 4.7 in 2011-12. So if you for males it has decreased from 8.6 to 4.9, and for females it has decreased from 13.2 to 4.5. So you can two things you can see here. So one is that the female the rate of unemployment has fallen drastically in case of female compared to males. So that is from 13.2 to 4.5, and also the in 2004-5 unemployment rate for females was higher than males, 8.6 and 13.2, but whereas in 2011-12 unemployment rate for females happens to be lower than the males, 4.9 and 4.5. This is as far as the Telangana unemployment rate is concerned. And when you check the all India level, it is 8.2 in 2004-5. So during this point of time, the all India unemployment rate was lesser than the unemployment rate in the state of Telangana, 10.5 and 8.2, but it has decreased to 5.6 in 2011-12. So but in 2011-12 the unemployment rate all India level happens to be higher than the unemployment rate in the state of Telangana. Even when you see the breakup, it was 7.8 for males, which was lesser than Telangana state, and 9.1 for females, that is also lesser than Telangana state. But when you move on to the 2011-12, both 5.3 for males and 6.6 for females happens to be higher than the unemployment rates of the Telangana. And also you can notice another feature here, at the all India level, the unemployment rate for females happens to be higher than the unemployment rate for males, but whereas it is otherwise in the case of Telangana. Okay, so these are all the information we are getting about the unemployment situation. So unemployment rate in the state is lower than the national average rate of unemployment, and unemployment is more prevalent among females, especially at the national level, than males. Now just for your information, how we are calculating the unemployment rate. So unemployment rate is calculated based on, this is a formula. Unemployment rate is equal to number of unemployed persons in a particular area divided by total labor force. So total labor force means the people who can work. So it's only certain age group can work, isn't it? They are considered as a labor force. As far as the India is concerned, in the Indian context, a person has to be above 15 years of age, and he should be physically fit, and he or she should be willing to work also. And still they are all considered as a labor force. Okay, so the total population is not the labor force. Below 15 years is not the labor force, and above 60 years is also not the labor force. So 15 to 60 they are considered as the labor force. And out in this total labor force, only some people are employed, the remaining people are unemployed. So out of the total labor force in a particular area, or in a particular state, or in a particular country, how much percentage are employed, and how many people are employed, and how many people are unemployed, how many number of persons are employed in the total labor force, and how many number of persons are unemployed in that labor force. Okay, so the total labor force includes both employed and unemployed, and out of this labor force, how many people are unemployed. So this is how the unemployment rate is calculated. Okay, so we are just saying 5.6, 6.5, 4.5, all this we are saying, isn't it? This is how the unemployment rate is being calculated. Okay, so now this is about the unemployment and poverty situations in the state of Telangana. Let us check the main answer. So this is also one of the 5 marks. Okay, so this is the question. Analyze the poverty and unemployment situations in Telangana. The answer is the first one, poverty in Telangana. Poverty is a situation in which a section of the population is unable to afford even the basic necessities of life. First, Tendulkar expert group poverty estimates. As per this committee, the annual per capita expenditure for poverty line in 2011-12 was rupees 860, whereas it was 244 in 1993-94. This is for rural population, and 1009 rupees for urban population, which was 282 rupees in 1993-94. According to these estimates, it was found that first one, rural poverty in TS decreased from 49% between 1993-94 and 2011-12 to 11.2% in 2011-12, whereas at the national level, it has declined from 50.1% to only 25.7% during the same period. I know a lot of statistics you are expected to remember. Okay, and another thing, why is all mentioned TS is because even though at that point of time it was not TS, it was AP, because the question is being asked like that. So that's why I have mentioned also in the answer as TS, the state of Telangana. The second one, urban poverty in TS decreased from 30.5% between 1993-94 and 2011-12 to 5% in 2011-12. Whereas at the national level, it has declined from 31.8% to only 13.7% during the same period. Here, if you want, you can mention about the absolute number also, 12 million to 5 million in TS. Okay. Then, as per the B, Rangarajan Committee report on poverty estimates. As per this committee report in 2011-12, first point, percentage of poor in TS was 10%, which was 9.3% in rural and 11.1% in urban. And percentage of poor at the national level was 29.5%, 30.9% in rural and 26.4% in urban. Thus, it is evident that the state of Telangana is able to reduce poverty compared to all India. Second one, unemployment in Telangana. Unemployment is a situation in which a person who is willing and able to work but unable to find jobs, that is involuntarily unemployed. In Telangana state, the unemployment rate, which was 10.5 in 2004-5, the breakup 8.6 for males and 13.2 for females, has decreased to 4.7 in 2011-12, 4.9 for males and 4.5 for females. At the national level, it was 8.2 in 2004-5, 7.8 for males and 9.1 for females, has declined to 5.6 in 2011-12, 5.3 for males and 6.6 for females. Thus, it is evident that unemployment rate in the state is lower than the national average rate of unemployment. And second one, unemployment is more prevalent among females, especially at the national level, than males. Okay, so this also a 5 marks question that can be asked in the board exam. Okay, so if you find this video useful, please like, share and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I know there are a lot of statistical data. Please try to memorize the statistical data and of course understand the concept also. Okay, so until my next class, take care. Bye bye.